So my name is Sophie. I'm 31 and I do product strategy at YouTube.
Okay, so what does that involve? Because I imagine, YouTube is a very well-known product.
Yes.
What's the strategy behind that?
Well, yeah, because obviously huge company, huge product. I really narrow in on something we call our impact reports, which focus on like the good impact that YouTube is creating in countries all around the world. So how many jobs are we creating because creators are hiring people? How much money are we contributing to different countries' GDPs because we are paying creators? So it's kind of a nice, like AI and tech very under fire these days, sometimes for good reason.
Right.
But so it's nice to get to look on the positive side of things. And then part of it is also a little bit of like economics and math, which I love. Get some other data points about like, how many people find YouTube helpful for learning a new skill or something like that.
It's so interesting because you're talking about being able to kind of sell a product and its utility and involve some math, maybe some numbers. Yeah. Seems a little hand in hand with where we are right now.
Oh, yeah. I mean, all of Survivor is being able to sell something.
Yeah.
To somebody else. And you're doing the math. You're trying to figure out, okay, like, how many people do I need to vote? Do I need to worry about this person? Like, I definitely think a lot of hand in hand there. And also just a lot of hand in hand with, like, just the business world in general. Like, corporate America is all alliances. Like, those aren't necessarily real friendships we see between companies. Those are like strategic alliances.
So then let's talk about perhaps from that similar DNA.
Yeah.
What's your history with Survivor and what has you out here right now?
Oh my God. So I've been watching Survivor since I was a kid. Like the latest I got to stay up when I was like in elementary school was for scenes from next week. So we would like beg my mom to let us watch scenes from next week with Jeff because, it's like 9 p.m. Eastern when it stopped. When this back when these were hour-long episodes.
Exactly.
Now, I don't even know how kids are getting to watch Survivor.
Yeah, now it's like, all right, jump out of the challenge.
Yeah, geez. But so, yeah, have been watching with my family for a long time. And then, like, in college, was watching with friends and have made, like, friends and communities along the way because we all love Survivor. And I'm actually, like, the friends who I watch with now, we do a little Survivor fantasy league.
Ooh.
So that is added. I'm not out here like a proponent of sports betting, but makes it interesting when you like draft your team and now all of a sudden I care about players I might not have otherwise. But then what brought me here, so that's my experience with as a fan of the show.
Right.
But I applied to be on Survivor once in COVID. I distinctly remember making that video in COVID. Went nowhere. Then I applied again, and I was actually an alternate for season 48, which means that, like, you get to essentially do everything but the fun stuff, like play the game. And I wasn't done. I feel like being an alternate made me hungrier and angrier and, like, God damn it, I want to play this game. Like, how dare you, like, bring me out here, let me get to taste what it might be like, and then have me go home to, like, New York. So when the opportunity came for 49, I was like, we're absolutely doing this again. And went through that process again and am so happy to be here now for real full-time cast. Like, I can't believe it.
Yeah, so I was intrigued when it came to your own sort of like either physical prep or even like mental and emotional prep. What was it like for trip number 2 versus trip number 1?
Definitely, I think trip number 2 focused way more on the mental aspect because I had done a lot of the physical prep for trip number 1 and then kept it. Like, stayed doing those like forearm strength things for those grip challenges, stayed working on balance and just being strong. Also, it was like, I'll be very honest, I was like an athlete. I swam in college. Like, it's fun to train for something.
Yeah.
And so it was so fun to train to maybe be an alternate that I just like kept that up constantly because I was like, who knows, like maybe I'll be on 49. So the physical stuff maintained. What I really stepped up was more of the mental aspect, because I think what I realized when I was out here for 48 as an alternate, you're kind of without, for the most part, your standard coping mechanisms. Even in this pregame, like, you don't have a phone, you don't have access to the internet. You do have music and you have books, but like, normal ways people cope, like I like to go exercise, I like to watch TV, I like to go listen to music or talk to friends. Well, on Survivor, you can't do any of those things. So I literally asked my therapist, I was like, all right, what like strategies for like coping when I have nothing else, and we came up with like a toolkit of like breathing exercises, meditations, things that I can do that like also things that only I would know.
Yeah.
It's like no one around me is like, oh, look at Sophie doing like sun salutations in the morning, like things I'm just keeping low key that will help kind of ground me and get my head right in the game. The other difference, I think, in prep is for the alternate season, I really was doing a lot of like research on past seasons and strategies. And I think what I realized because now I've had the opportunity to watch some of 48.
I was going to say, and was that from your perspective? I mean, again, did you want to put yourself in that headspace where you're like seeing yourself on the season or like?
Part of it was like seeing myself on the season and being like, oh, how would have I acted in that situation?
Yeah.
And realizing that like having this like formula of strategies that I want to do is actually not helpful because people are people. They're irrational. They are so different. And so like, for example, I had a thought of like, how would have I been on, I can't remember the name, the Green Tribe. Vula, where lots of personalities, it seemed kind of volatile, like that was not the smooth sailing camps that the other two tribes enjoyed. And like some of those like kind of pre-formulated strategies that I had thought of, I was like, those go out the window.
Yeah.
Like those fully go out the window when you're dealing with a player like Say, who's like so great at just like kind of like calling your bluff and just being like, I'm not going to talk to you because I know you want to vote me out.
Yeah.
Like that goes against all of the strategy that I looked up from past seasons because she's playing differently than anybody else to play the game.
Yeah.
And so I think my preparation this time around, way less on like watching past seasons because I'm not playing with those people.
That's true.
I mean, maybe you'll get a chance to play with those people in the future, but right now, like, I'm not playing against those people. Why am I watching film on a team that I'm not playing against?
Oh, that's a very good way to put it. You should have zoomed there. There we go. Perfect.
Yeah.
So, look, as much as you don't want to look on the past,
right, yeah.
I'm going to make you do it for a hot second here.
Okay.
Give me one winner and one non-winner who you identify with the most.
Ooh, okay. Well, for winner, I gotta go Rachel because she is my patron saint of alternates.
Yeah, I was gonna
She's
say.
the alternate who won.
Though you don't know, Shaheen could be the winner.
Shaheen could also win. I would love to see that. So she's my winner who I really identify with just from the alternate experience. And also I read, I think, some of her press from her season, and she talked similarly about feeling the way I did. Because I feel like the other, like Austin is another alternate who I know who got to play. There hasn't been as much out there about how alternates feel. And I was like, she gets it. That it sucks, that I was really upset. Like, I'm sure there are some people who maybe don't feel that way, but like I did. And it was great to see that not only did she feel similarly to me, but then she came back out here and won.
Yeah.
And then a non-winner who I identify with. This is tough because I generally only think in terms of winners.
And you've got a lot more to choose
a
from.
A lot more to choose from. This one is like maybe a little. We'll see how this lands, but honestly, Carolyn, in that the emotionalness, like she really, I think, like was an emotional player, and I will definitely be an emotional player as well. I think I'll also like have some other aspects of my gameplay as well, but like I think that was something that it was like so fun to watch her play because she was so invested and so emotional about it, and I think that I identify with that. Like I am like this emotion, like I bring my emotions to everything that I do, and I have a difficulty hiding them. So I feel like that's like I really, when I was watching Carolyn play, even watching her like just have fun, like both really enjoy it and then also get mad, I was like, that'll be me.
Yeah, so let's talk about that. What would you say is your biggest superpower and your biggest piece of kryptonite? Is what you're just mentioning falling into one of those categories?
I think, kryptonite for sure is the emotions piece. Just that, like, I wear my heart on my sleeve, and it's, hard for me to conceal what I'm feeling. I'm very expressive, and I know that'll get me in trouble in Survivor. And so that is something that I'm really going to try to be mindful of and kind of lock down. I think, though, one of my greatest strengths is I'm really good at bringing people together. I love to plan shit for friends and groups of people and all sorts of stuff. And I think like an aspect of that is like it's a little bit of glue, you know? Like I'm a good like
You're
kind
a glue
of
girl.
I'm a glue girl. I can bring groups of different friends together, and I think, you know, that's not too different than bringing people together for a vote. You know, like I think I have a good read of maybe who needs what and how to bring them together and cater to each party so that they might, you know, come and vote my way.
How do you think you're going to be perceived in this game? How do you think your competition is
Yeah.
going to view you?
It's so funny because I think like there is the pre-game perception.
Right.
And then there's the post, and then there's like once we actually start playing.
Yeah.
And the pregame, it's interesting because, you know, we're not allowed to talk. And I am a like diehard teacher's pet. Like I was so type A, love following rules, loved rules. And so I am not talking at all. So I think I'm coming across as like very introverted, kind of like, just like not like,
Not Sophie.
not Sophie. Not Sophie. I'm really, I'm coming across as like very calm and like kind of serene. And it's just because like I'm not going to break those rules. You're not going to see me talking. But in reality, like, love to chat, would love to be the person making jokes and all that stuff. But yeah, a rule follower. So I think, my perception right now is definitely, I think, coming across as, she's a little bit more introverted. She, like might not be as like goofy or fun loving or, you know, so on and whatnot. But then I think when we get to the beach, I think that, their perception of me will be like, oh, she loves to get a laugh, you know, a little bit of a clown, some like positive energy, just so excited to be here. And I'm hoping that I will mask some of the like, okay, competitive, athletic, here to win aspects of me.
Well, let's flip that mirror around. And again, this is an exercise we've done before as well. You're making your own assessments, I'm sure. Just, you know, as you're trying to be introverted, just like surreptitiously gathering info. So let's start on the positive side of things. Give me some initials or some descriptions of people that are possible ride or dies for you.
There's this woman MC who's like a tall black woman who just seems like I just like solid. Like she just seems like a solid person. She like looks very athletic. I would guess like basketball or volleyball, and just seems like very observant and chill and like steady. And I think that's kind of the things that I would look for in an alliance partner. I don't need a wild card in an alliance partner. So getting good vibes from MC. I'm also getting good vibes from this woman who has like pink hair, and she just has like a lot of spunk and personality going on. She had like the most fun glitter eyeshadow on today, and she seems like so interesting and so like full of energy. And again, I don't know because we haven't spoken yet, but like gives off like just like vivacious fun, and those are the people I gel with. Interestingly, this is where it kind of gets interesting, because then there's also this this woman with short hair who seems like very gregarious and like chatty, and like those are good qualities, but like the alarm bells are ringing where I'm like, NMA looks like she's about to have a great social game. Like I've seen her kind of like chop it up with a lot of different types of people, making a lot of people laugh. Like, she just seems like, I don't know. I'm like, I've got my eye on her. Yeah.
Any others that you're seeing either not getting good vibes from, or you're seeing as a threat to that point?
As a threat to that point. And then actually, similarly, there's a woman with like long braids who also is giving like, just kind of like bubbly, kind of unassuming bubbly, but like, good at like, you know, ha ha ha, with like a lot of different types of people, which I just like, those are more threats to me than like, I don't know, there's like one buff dude and I'm like, I'm not too worried about you, sir. But like, it's the people who I'm like, I think you seem to have a good social game.
So that's the thing, is that like you're almost kind of banking from your previous experience, where you know that some people can make these impressions and like run really far with them. And so you're kind of already eyeballing like, I see you already playing the game from day -3.
Yes, yeah. And that's what's crazy, is that like you're spending all this time with people. You're not allowed to talk, but you're starting to build impressions of people. And so part of what I wanted to do though was give give as little as possible, because actually some of the people that I think are doing really well are the ones who are giving the least. Like Kyle and Camilla, like, were really quiet, not giving away anything. Because, yeah, some of that stuff, sure, you might catch a good vibe off someone, but what if also someone starts to see you as a threat?
Yeah.
You know? And you don't know who's on your tribe yet.
Yeah.
So that's the other thing is, like, I literally, because also the person in me who, like, loves to be in the conversation and chit-chatting had to be like, no, Sophie, like, don't give in, don't start chatting. A, because you follow rules, but B, because you don't want to, like, why am I going to give anybody ammo?
Right, exactly.
So
I want to pull a couple things from your bio
Ooh,
here.
okay.
You said that you are loyal to a fault.
yeah.
Talk to me about that. Do you fear that might be an issue in this game?
It's funny because I do feel like I'm loyal to a fault when it comes to certain friendships. That, like, maybe I should just have, like, let go earlier.
Gotcha,
or
yeah.
like recognize, like, you know what, this isn't serving me. I think the asterisk though is that, like, yeah, for my friends I will go above and beyond and bend over backwards, do everything and anything for. I think the difference here is, like, yes, people make really great relationships on Survivor. They make great close friendships, but I don't anticipate running into that here. I think, like, I'm very much so playing where I'm like, this is a game. Like, when people, you know, get really sad that they hurt someone's feelings in tribal, part of me is like, get a grip. This is a game. This is a game for $1 million. This is 26 days. It's like the same type of get a grip when, like, on a reality dating show, they're saying, I love you after a week.
Right.
Like,
I found the man of my dreams.
right. I'm like, it's you're in a silo, you're in a vacuum. Like, get your head out of your ass and remember where you are. And so that's why, like, my loyal to a fault, I don't think will apply here, because I think I will, like, always kind of be overthinking, which conversely, in normal life, that's a bad thing, to be, like, constantly overanalyzing and
Right.
overthinking your relationships. But here, I think it's actually, like, that's the name of the game, you know?
Something else you wrote in your bio, you were in all caps.
Oh.
Handy as hell.
Oh, yes.
I gotta hear about any sort of meaning behind what that means.
So I consider myself a handy woman. My dad is extremely handy. He's a big DIY guy. He can fix literally almost anything. And he definitely imparted that to me. Like, I have a toolbox, I have a drill, I have multiple hammers, and I love and I'm not just talking about, like, building furniture, but, like, in college, our door didn't have a deadbolt. And yeah, we were just, like, not feeling great about that.
No.
And I installed a deadbolt on the door.
Wow.
I just, like, went to Lowe's, looked up how to do it, like, bought the pieces for my drill. To this day, like, when something is wrong in my apartment, my default is to look up how to do it myself. And then if we get to, like, if it's like electricity or plumbing, that's when I'll reach out to my landlord. But everything else, I'm doing it myself. I recently, like, refinished my coffee table. I, like, sanded it down.
Oh my God.
I stained it. It looks beautiful.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love that stuff.
So then let's talk about what might fill up your toolbox out here. Idols, advantages,
Oh.
journeys. How do you plan on incorporating that into your game?
So one, journeys, no. I just feel like they're kind of a lose-lose. They happen, like, they seem to happen so early in the season,
Right.
that none of the positives that come out of them, like an extra vote, are ever used for, like, really game-changing moves yet. And also, most of the time, it screws you over and you don't have a vote. And it also can screw you over because you have 3 different people who are all telling stories about it. And maybe you're telling the truth about what happened, but what if for some reason somebody believes, you know, like, there's just so much opportunity to go wrong. I don't think the benefits of a journey in this new era of Survivor outweigh the risks. Especially if I get to a journey and it's rolling dice. What? Like, absolutely not. I'm not going to leave my game up to chance like that. Idols, like, I think the, like, individual immunity, I obviously want to win all of the challenge ones. That's a big, like, I've been practicing challenge things. My mom made me bean bags and I've been throwing them at any number of things.
And just anything around the house?
Anything around the house. A lot of blocks, a lot of like, stacking up paper cups, that type of thing. And so, yeah, would like really on my bucket list is individual immunity idol. And then obviously want the idols for my tribes. The hidden immunity idol is interesting because I think it's so powerful.
Right. But
too early on, you go looking for it, it like really puts a target on your back. I think though, in my game, my plan is to not tell anybody anything about having idols. Like,
famous last words.
I know, famous last words, but like, I feel like we're seeing people get screwed over by sharing too much. And that's going to be hard because I'm going to want to like celebrate it. But I think if I were to rank them, Journey's last, don't want to do. And then first would be like the challenge idols, first being individual and then tribe and then hidden immunity idol. So yeah, all of them in my toolbox except for the Journey.
There you go. Leaving that one out. Not necessary. Well, let's, maybe speaking of that, put yourself a bit in Jeff's shoes here.
Yeah.
If you could either bring in a previous twist from New Era or otherwise, or you can even make your own up that you want to like put in this season for you to play with.
This season for me to play with. Ooh, that's a great one. What is it? What are some of my favorite twists? I hate it when they do the time turner one. I'm glad that's gone.
Yes.
Yeah, that was not liked. What are some good twists? It's tough because honestly, I feel like a lot of the twists are tough. I have a little bit of an old school Survivor mentality where I'm like, I just want to see them like wheel and deal and gossip and this and that. I like it. I'm trying to think of a twist because I think the benefit of the Journey is that you get 3 people from different tribes to like hang. But I'm trying to think of something like that where it's not as I don't know. These new journeys are really screwing.
I mean, you could do sort of like Survivor 44. They did this once where it was Carolyn and Brandon and Danny, if you remember, and they just spent a day chilling, broing down and eating fruit. Right.
That was great.
Yeah.
Let's do that where it's like there's nothing wrong with it. We're just hanging out, getting vibes, getting to know other people.
Yeah.
I was also going to say, I think on Caleb's season, there was one where you get to like send somebody to the other tribe to like hang out for a little bit. That one can backfire, but it's fascinating.
Yeah.
And I like those aspects of it. Or I think another twist would be to like go to 2 tribes kind of soon after 3 and like stick with 2 for a bit. Cause I think 2, there's so many people. It's like, there's so much more fun and intrigue at the tribals. When there's only 6, there's not enough. We need more people for like good gossip and content.
That's true. Exactly. You don't, when a rumor gets spread around 6 people, it's not nearly as weighty as a dozen people in one room.
Yeah. That's why post-merge is so great.
All right, well, maybe on that note, what is your hottest Survivor take? What do you think is your most controversial opinion about the show or a season or a player?
Yeah. The Flint. Why are we taking away Flint from the losers? Why are we handicapping the losers? That makes no sense to me. Because everything I've read about it, like, and we see it, it starts a cycle where you're not eating and then you're not performing well. And with this 3-tribe system, every time there's a tribe who, like, loses once and they never recover. And I think it's the Flint. And it's not fun to watch one tribe get pummeled. And it just makes, like, in what other sport do we handicap the losers? Right. Like, I'm someone who I'm always rooting for, like, a good game. I don't want to see a blowout. Yeah. And that's I think, what we're doing. The other thing is, like, Jeff famously says that in Survivor, fire represents your life. Why are we taking away from them so early?
Saying, you're dead now.
What? Like, come on. As if it's not hard enough out here. Like, yeah, it's not fun for me to watch a tribe lose and lose and lose because they're not eating. That's not fun. So that's my hottest take is, like, enough with the taking the Flint.
In a manner of speaking, you're saying sorry, not sorry for you.
Yeah, sorry, not sorry for you. Come on. Yeah.
So when it comes to the end game of Survivor, something that I find incredibly intriguing is that as a juror, you can vote under really any piece of criteria, right? It could be relationships, it could be social game, it could be strategy, it could be resume, story. Yeah. So right now, if I were to ask you the thing you value the most as a juror when voting for someone to win, if you were to say the thing I value the most when voting for a winner is blank, what would that blank be?
I think it would be gameplay. Because, and by that I mean, like, I'm not just going to vote for the person who's my friend.
Yeah.
I say that now, but you never know. But I really think like the person who I feel like played the best game, and that is both like doing well in challenges and like wheeling and dealing and making things happen. Because yeah, that's what I value. That's what I like watching. Like the person who like, yeah, really made things happen. And they don't have to be big splashy moves. Like sometimes you just surviving from the bottom and making it to the top 3 is enough. But I think gameplay really is what I would focus on. Yeah.
Last but certainly not least, you know how I end this. If you could bring a celebrity or a fictional character out as a loved one, who would it be? Do you remember who you said?
Did I say Rihanna or did I say Beyonce?
No, you said neither. You said the guy from Man vs. Food.
Oh my God, so he could eat because you know what's crazy is that those eating challenges for some reason, like I think maybe it's Survivor All-Stars. There's one where like the loved one has to do the eating challenge.
Yeah, when they were like eating bugs.
And I just like, I don't think anybody in my family could do it.
So you want to bring someone out who can.
So I wanted to bring someone out who can. But now this is just for the visit, right?
Yeah, just for the visit. I mean, they could if you, depending on what you want it to be, you know?
I'm trying to think of who would give me the most inspiration. Oh my God. I like my mind is going a million miles a minute because I think in my brain because I remembered this, but I was thinking about who would you want to play with?
Yeah.
And so I was thinking about people I wanted to play with, but this is more of like, who's going to give me that like pep in my step that I need to get it together.
That locker room halftime
talk.
talk.
Yes. It can't be Michael Jordan. He would be too mean. He'd be like, this is a wimp game.
I mean, you talk about, not wanting to be a bitter juror. He is the definition of, and I took that personally.
Oh my God. Yeah, definitely. Okay, so I'm a big women's sports fan, and I'm especially women's basketball fan. Go New York Liberty, season ticket holder. Champs. But I'm going to break from that. I'm actually going to say Diana Taurasi, who just retired.
Ooh.
Because she, I think, has like the perfect balance of like, get your head in the, like, I think she'd give a great, like, pump up speech, but she also seems like so fun and would be a great, like, escape from the game for a little bit. Also, huge fan, idolize her, and like, would love to just get to meet her. But I think she would be like the perfect mix of like that, like, fire that I need to win.
Yeah.
But also bring some like fun and laughter and goofiness. And like, I think we would have like a lot of fun. Like, I think if it was a competition, she would destroy it. Extremely athletic, extremely talented, and also like a ridiculously cutthroat competitor. But then when we then win that challenge and then go like, I don't know, on some boat and like that's our reward, she would be like, I think great at like, maybe I could use her like, go talk to that person who I haven't really made a
She could be that bridge.
Yeah, she could be that bridge. I feel like she'd get along with anybody.
There we go. She can play all positions on the court.
Play all positions on the court. There you go.
Well, I mean, you talk about that pep talk to get your head in the game. Your head is so firmly in a nice place right now, I think. I mean, obviously, again, it's night and day, the conversations that we had given the circumstances.
God, yeah.
But, like, so when I was talking with Rachel for 47, she told me, like, 46 was not my season. This was my season. And I hope you get that general sense as well.
Yeah, it's funny because definitely from like you're right, from like a head perspective, because 48, I didn't think I was good enough to play Survivor because I was an alternate. And I think even had I been tapped, had something happened to somebody or somebody dropped out, I would have been playing feeling like an imposter.
That's interesting.
Like, I didn't deserve it. Like, I was JV who had gotten called up only because somebody got hurt, not because I deserved it.
Yeah.
And I would be playing, like, so scared of failure because I wanted to prove that I could do it.
Yeah.
Whereas now, like, they did pick me. I do deserve to be here. I've worked so hard to be here. Like, I know that I have earned this and I know that I belong out here. And so I'm not playing from that, like, scared perspective of like, oh my God, like, I'm really playing from a position. I think I'm playing from a position of power rather than a position of like weakness and insecurity. And I think that's the biggest difference. the other thing is like I like watching 48. They all seem so fun. I would have been great friends. I mean, hopefully I can still be great friends with all of them after
You're part of
this.
the family now.
Part of the family. But I do. It's interesting. I do think that like. Yeah, well, like my cast is so different. Like like 48 is like the season of like hunky men, and that's not what 49 is. And like I think this might that might end up working out in my favor. Like who knows? But definitely from like a headspace perspective, feeling so much better about. Yeah, you're right. Like I feel like I feel great about where my head is in this game.
This is RHAP. We know reality TV.